Well, the Doctor is back with a new Doctor, of course, in the form of Peter Capaldi. Fans are being expect him to explore more of the character's darker side. He, of course, appeared last night. He came back with a huge dinosaur in the middle of London. Do get in touch, please, on 85058. Tell us what you made of the new Doctor. And if you haven't seen the episode yet, we might give a few spoilers. Please be aware of that in the next couple of moments. But let's talk to Anthony Weiner now from the Doctor Who Appreciation Society, and also Toby Haydock, who's a comedian and writer with a big passion for the Time Lord, which if you're watching on the webcam, you'll be able to see simply by what he's wearing. Morning to you, Toby. And morning to you as well, Anthony. Hello.
Morning.
So you watched it at the cinema, Anthony. Was it worth the visit?
It certainly was, yes. I'd been to the premiere the week before, and then I went to the cinema to watch it. I think I was more excited to see it again because it had been so good the first time. So regenerations and new Doctors, they don't come round that often. So it's always quite exciting if you are a Doctor Who fan to see a new Doctor.
And Toby, what about you? Were you all smiles watching it?
Yeah, I was. I think it was a brilliant debut. I mean, the Doctor was conceived as an anti-establishment character. William Hartnell was a grumpy old man. So, although it may be a culture shock to people who were brought up on the newer version of Doctor Who, that the idea of a spiky, dark Doctor is in keeping with the show.
Do you know what I found curious? And I'm a big fan. I'm scared to say that in front of you, Anthony, and you, Toby, because you'll be thinking, you know nothing. But, I'm an armchair Doctor Who fan. I love Peter Capaldi and everything he's generally done. I really love Clara. I think she's warm and engaging. She's a great assistant. I felt it was almost bizarrely more her show last night than his.
Well, that's not entirely out of keeping with the show. What I think what they did very cleverly was that at the end of the episode, you just about got to grips with who this Doctor was. So I think we'll get more of an idea of what Capaldi is like in ensuing weeks, and that's very canny because it means that we're not just there for the first night, because he did spend most of the time not being how he's going to be. He was recovering from the regeneration, and she's so good that it's very good if you've got a good actress playing the companion to tide you through that difficult transition. And it was it was a bit like Tom Baker's first story all those many years ago, where he was surrounded by the accoutrements of his predecessor so that people could enjoy the familiar while the central man himself was unfamiliar, and then we'll get more of him as time goes on.
But, Anthony, I remember David Tennant coming in with a bang, and then I was thinking, I can never love anyone again now that David Tennant's gone, and then Matt Smith came in with a bang, and Peter Capaldi kind of came in softly, didn't he, with a bit of a whisper?
Yes, it's certainly a certain softer performance. I think we're hot-wired to that, though, aren't we, as a nation? A new Doctor Who comes along, you really like the one before, and then suddenly, within 2 or 3 episodes, you're really kind of loving the new one. And I think that happens. My favourite Doctor was Tom Baker, and then other people come along and are equally as good as playing the Doctor, and you start to fall in love with them and their character as the Doctor moves forward in his characterisation. But, as you say, he was a very soft performance. And as Toby has just said, I don't think as a nation we're particularly hot-wired again for an older actor, because we've been quite used to, more recently with the last 2 Doctors, younger men playing the Doctor. I like the idea of the Doctor being an older figure, because that's kind of how he always was in the past, and I think it's kind of like a nice shock or a jolt for the audience that he can be something different.
But can the BBC afford to gamble with that, Toby? I mean, yes, in the past we've had, William Hartnell, we've had older Doctors, but where it's been such a commercial success for the BBC and it's globally been so successful, is with David Tennant, is with Matt, of course, as well. Is it going to...
That's the beauty of Doctor Who, because it rewrites the rules. You could never come up with Doctor Who by committee. It's a programme about a man who travels through space and time in a police box that's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. If anything shouts niche, it's that. and yet it is loved, as you say, the world over, because it defies all of the rules, and it can't be created by execs who talk about zeitgeist and keywords and all of that sort of thing. It's scary yet it's funny. It's like boiled eggs and soldiers that gives you nightmares. It's it's comforting and it's frightening, and it can be satirical, and it's warm, and it's not a cult show. It's not just for geeks, although it is our currency. My Anorex tax deductible. And you say, it's the memory cheats, because you say David Tennant started with a bang. David Tennant spent his first hour in a coma in his pyjamas. It's only...
You're right.
Yeah.
Curses, you're right. We have had one text saying, how come Doctor Who now looks like Arsene Wenger?
Lots of planets have an Arsene Wenger, is the answer to that.
So are you feeling positive, Anthony? I mean, as the head of the Doctor Who Appreciation Society, do you have any sort of insight onto what treats lie ahead?
Oh, no, I have no insight at all. No, I pick up the Radio Times, and that gives me the next week's episode. So I've read on for next week, and I know that the Doctor is up against the Daleks, as I think we saw in the Next Time trailer last night. So the Doctor with the Daleks is like going to Wimbledon without strawberries and cream. They're absolutely synonymous with the programme. So the Doctor this new Doctor finally gets to meet the Daleks. So that's a good start.
OK, Anthony Weiner and also Toby Hadoke, thank you very much.